I'm Yosef Razin. I'm a research associate in the Science Systems and Sustainment Division at IDA. Coding is giving instructions to a computer in order for it to do something for you. Organizations may want their computers to edit video or be a word processor or create an app. In the past, you've needed to use languages that computers can understand, languages like Java or Python, in order to give those instructions. Coding is used throughout our national security establishments to do all the design, development, calculations that we need. But at this point, every organization needs to be using coding. AI makes coding a lot easier because it translates plain English instructions into computer languages. You no longer need to be an expert in those languages in order to build an app. And there are platforms these days like Cloud Code, Codex, and Cursor that can easily and quickly take your instructions and have huge databases of code and can figure out how to turn your instructions into understandable code. The top risk that a lot of people have thought of is vibe coding. And this is an inexperienced coder, someone who doesn't really have any background, but they now have this powerful AI at their fingertips. And they can say, hey, I want an app that does ride sharing. And it will produce that app, and they can check it, and it looks like it's doing exactly what they want, but they're not experienced enough to tell if it's doing things that they don't want it to do. National security really amplifies all these risks in many ways, because if you have inexperienced coders throwing out code that has security flaws, that's really inviting adversaries to exploit those flaws, find ways to poison data, steal models, steal people's private information, figure out where are the weaknesses in the system. But even for experienced developers who are working on national security, doing AI-assisted code, there isn't really a way for them to know where they're getting the code from, and there are ways that are really subtle to introduce bugs that they may or may not catch. Here at IDA, first and foremost, we're trying to educate our sponsors about what risks exist in AI-assisted coding, not to tell them not to use it, but to make sure that they have calibrated their expectations and are taking appropriate mitigations for those risks. Once they're aware of those risks and we've educated them, then there are, in fact, mitigations that we can help with, both at the organizational level as well as the individual level.